Hello and welcome to another episode of Mindful Conversation with Dr. Dawood Vaid. Of course, that's me. And today we are taking such a pivotal topic, a topic that NEP talks so much about, a topic that is so relevant and yet so misunderstood as a vitamin subject and not a core subject. Yes, we are talking about life skills for school-going students. In one line, life skills are the currency of the 21st century. Irrespective, if you are brilliant in physics, you can do fast calculation, you can do wonderful problem solving. If you do not know your basic life skills, you'll always be playing catching cop. So 10 questions around life skills. Let's deep dive into first one on effective communication. How can effective communication help students handle peer pressure? The question itself is so deep, it gives you an answer. Today, when you can stand up for yourself, you can handle so much of conversation that people have, the pressure they put. Come on, let's bunk a class and let's go for a movie. Oh, come on, try this cigarette. Oh, let's not study a subject. These are peer pressures. You're not good enough. And when a child can speak up, effective communication is the basis for most of the relationship. Well, even in spouse relationship, you're talking to your teachers in school, you're sending a WhatsApp message or an email. Please do not send one when you are angry. Today's kids talk about emojis, the word that they speak about. Even an emoji is a communication. So number one of the skills that's required is effective communication, very particularly. And one thing that I insist, it's not about speaking at a TED talk, it's about this 1 minute speech. I want to, as a business meeting, and they have to give you a pitch. 1 minute, we call it the elevator pitch. Most of them do not know and go beyond 30 seconds. Hi, I'm so and so, this is what I do, I love doing that, and that's about it. So yes, effective communication is the basis. One last thing on effective communication is Martin Luther King. His speech, I Have a Dream, is the cornerstone of good speaking. For the first time when he stood up to speak, he did not have the right words. So well, words are all I have to take your heart away, and this is what effective communication is all about. Question number 2. What role does emotional intelligence play in managing conflict at school? Daniel Goleman is the father of modern day EQ, and this is his book on emotional intelligence. He said today it's more relevant than even IQ. When I was growing up in a CBSE school, Kendra Vidyalaya, IQ test was the height. We need to do with Einstein. Today, if Einstein has a mental health problem, that's a bigger pandemic for all of us in school. So EQ is where you manage your emotions like anger, depression, sadness, anxiety, and all of this clubbed together can lead to a child, having suicidal thoughts, negative thoughts, darkness around him. So EQ is very important. Now, one tip? I used a word called hangry, hungry and angry. Ever seen a road rage accident? Either that someone is tired and sleepless and he did not have proper lunch or dinner or any breakfast for that matter. Make sure you're well fed and make sure you're well rested. EQ's 50% is done. Other than that, it's about the right environment you create in schools, and that's what good EQ is. Speaking about EQ is very important as well. Number 3. Why is decision making important for personal growth and how can students improve on it? Have you ever tried taking a penalty shot? That's the core of decision making. Where should I kick the ball? In the center, left or right? And there is more anxiety and pressure on the one who's striking than the goalkeeper who's assumed that he will, anyway, let the ball pass by. So decision making right from what to wear, and that's why Steve Jobs just chose to wear black cardigan, because one less decisions to make. 2, what to eat. One of the biggest thing in decision making when friends go out for dinner or restaurant, remember when you start passing the menu card, the one who takes the menu card and makes decision is a leader in the making. Small things. What am I teaching here? What am I telling you? Well, I just talked about 3 life skills right now. One was communication, one was emotional intelligence, another one is decision making. The idea is you teach them. You play a game around menu card. You play a game around, you have 1,000 rupees. How do you make an order for a large party? Small decisions make big impact, and that is what I'm teaching you. How do I teach? Well, I have a curriculum. I'll share that a little later. Let me do 5 of it first. How can goal setting lead to better academic and personal achievement for students? Well, they say if you do not have any plans, plan for failure, right? Muhammad Ali said, if you do not stand for anything, you'll fall for everything. Goals are like those destinations that a ship needs to sail to. In this beautiful book, Alice in the Wonderland, when Alice falls down and she's asking the cat, where do I go? She says, where do you want to go? Alice says, I don't care. And the cat says, it doesn't matter where the road leads to. Today, our kids are smarter than we were. They want to be an influencer, a musician, they want to be a scuba diver. They are very clear. A computer scientist, they are very clear. They don't have the standard, pilots that we used to dream up of becoming. And yet, they are still lost when it comes to setting up the goals. They're still lost on what to set up goals with. Remember, in a corporate world, we learn about the SMART goal: specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. Well, it's simple as that. Teach them SMART goals. Teach them idea of where to set goals on, concepts of how much goal should be there, and it's small steps that you take, which is the first step to a bigger journey. Fifth question, what are the key steps to develop resilience in the face of failure? There's a beautiful TED talk on grit. Today, one of the biggest problem and one of the life skills that I strongly recommend is stress management. Stress management opposite is when you distress, when you give up, and that is where resilience comes in. Our kids are so used to playing on the turf. When there is wet water, they can't. And that is not a positive or negative. It's the way they approach us. They're so used to having internet at the instant fingertips. When there is no net, they don't know what to do. Picking up a book is not an option for them. So resilience, teaching them how to fail, teaching them what to do in failure is also important. Give case scenarios. Show them 19th October will be etched in our minds of Indian cricket lovers when we lost the ODI World Cup. Rohit Sharma, the Indian captain, row 45 was downcast. And just 6 months later in T20 when we won the world over, it was a sense of relief. But the victory was much more sweeter because we knew how to handle, and they were graceful in the defeat. So resilience is the key. It's the key to class bullying. It's the key to be labeled in the class. It's the key to stand out in the crowd. That is what we're teaching them. And these are just summary of certain goals. I will take a detour and teach you what I do. I run a curriculum called the skill curriculum. It's called the candle. 21st century is changing. Are you ready? And what I do in the skill curriculum are these. I'm sure this is just a block here. There are 10 skills that we teach a child. And these 10 skills, I just referred to some of them, is how you teach this to a child. You use a lot of examples. So there's a curriculum out there called the curriculum, which is Vibgyo. So this is the red book. I've got the brown book. There is violet, indigo, blue. And in that, again, these skills are taught over and over again. And what I mean by it is there is an activity on it. So randomly, I'll pick up a idea of personality types. So there is a skill tag here. I'm teaching them self-awareness, a little bit of resilience here. What kind of personality do you have? And a child runs through it. A teacher, a mentor, leader, team player, researcher, expert, planner, creative, communicator. And a child realizes, I am skilled. I have certain core values that it can become a leader for others. Or there is an activity called mentorship. This is a cover of Time magazine over the years, and we are asking them, why are they there? My favorite is this girl, Greta Thunberg. She's an activist for climate action. She's someone who created this, what we use in Golden Sparrow called Friday for Future. So many, every page is colorful and filled with some kind of lessons that a child needs to learn. So if you are prepared to teach life skills to your children, reach out to us. And hopefully this little conversation I had, 5 questions I did, I hope it will give some result teaching life skills to your child. I'll come back in episode 2 to teach the next 5 ones. And until then, let's make our life skills an integral part of our school values.